All right, guys. Nickelback documentary. We saw that. When was that? I don't remember the day. Was it
Last
a month
month
ago?
already.
Last month.
Yeah.
A month ago. We should have watched it one
Was
more
it
time.
in April
since
or
then.
was it in March?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It was
No,
just...
pretty sure it was in April. Wasn't that long
Oh,
ago?
it was April. Was it like the 5th?
It was beginning of
It was the
April,
beginning
though,
of
yeah.
April.
Yeah,
It was
beginning of April. So
Yeah.
this has been a long time
Nickelback.
coming.
Hate
but
for
Sorry,
love.
Yes.
I've had a busy couple of months.
We have had
Yeah.
these ones.
Just kind of lost track of time a little bit. But
Yeah, we were supposed to do this when it was still fresh, but it's still fresh-ish.
Ish.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
You know, Nickelback is still, regardless of seeing the documentary, there's a lot of stuff to talk about for them, anyways. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, it kind of started off. I was not knowing what to expect. I was almost expecting almost like a concert type thing, and it ended up being more of a what do you call them?
Documentary?
Well, a documentary about their lives, not
A biography.
necessarily like a biography. Yeah, kind of thing.
yeah. I was expecting it to be more about the music, but
Yeah.
it was more about them and how they started and how they grew. And
Which was
Yeah,
great
it was
because
great.
a lot of the stuff I didn't know
No.
about them.
no, I was, how many times I was shocked. I was just like, what? Really? They did that? That's amazing. Yeah, it was really good.
Because all we heard was,
The hate.
well, not necessarily the hate, but when they came here, this was it. Like they had already recorded,
Yeah.
released.
Yeah.
But we don't know the whole.
We didn't know the
story
background.
backstory.
to get
No.
up to there.
Yeah.
No,
Like
we didn't.
we
know.
knew they came from
Alberta. That's
Alberta,
it. But we
but that
didn't know
was
where. Not in the beginning.
No, not in the beginning.
Not in the beginning. Yeah, it was. They're just. Oh, they're Vancouverites now.
Yeah,
no
it's
longer-
their adopted home. I
They're
guess you could say.
adopted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what everybody kind of thought, right?
Yeah. But we didn't. I didn't realize
They
that
were smart because BC's is beautiful.
Yeah, I
BC is
didn't realize they
beautiful.
went on tour. They would
Mhm.
play to 10 people or
Yep.
whoever
less,
showed up.
Or
Or
they were
just,
like a garage band.
Yeah,
right.
pretty much.
Um,
And started. I knew they did covers.
Yep. What was the name of the band? See, now I can't remember it because we saw
Village
them.
Idiots.
Yes, thank
Yes.
you. Village
Oh, there you
Idiots.
go. There you
That
go.
was in the documentary, and they talked about that.
Him
part.
and his brother, Chad
Yeah.
and Mike. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he
And-
started doing it because he got kicked out of school. Wasn't that?
Yeah, basically. So
Yeah.
like the lines in Photograph where he was like
Mhm.
breaking into school and stuff like that is actually based
True.
on true facts.
'Cause
Yeah.
he was in juvie,
yeah.
which was shocking. Sorry, we're talking about Chad. He was in juvie.
But it was more than half a dozen times, I think he said, but it just sounded better.
It just sounded better.
Yeah.
It was. It
Yeah.
was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a
Reality
lot.
is, if you drive through Hannah, like there's a
nothing
reason.
Yeah. What else are you gonna do? Yeah.
Yeah, it did look pretty sparse on the
It-
hometown.
Well,
And
we-
their
we-
old
we-
claim to fame is
Good old
they're the
farm
home of
town.
Nickelback.
Yeah.
We happened up in Alberta, and
We did,
we,
we stopped.
we went an hour out of our way just so
to
we can
see.
say, hey, we've been to the
Just
town.
to
Yeah.
take a picture with the sign, because
exactly.
you know, us and the kids were all like, "Yeah, we have to." And then we drove around, and we're like,
I get
"Yeah,
it.
we get it. We totally get it."
And now I can see why they decided to leave the area.
They would. They had
They
to.
weren't gonna
There was
go.
no way that they could do what they wanted to do or what they've done if they stayed
If
there.
they had stayed, yeah.
No.
Picking
It's
up, buying a van and
Yep.
I was gonna say,
Road
yeah,
trip.
they literally bought a van
Literally
and
bought a
drove
van.
themselves all over the place, handing out
Yep.
demo tapes
And that surprising one was the fact that they took a loan from whose mom was it? Mike.
It was Chad borrowed from his stepdad.
But then the other one took a $20,000
Oh,
loan.
yeah.
It was 35,000.
35,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From
Ryan.
Ryan's
Ryan's
parents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was just like, okay,
And they were
they've
like,
earned
"Eh."
this. Like, yeah, it's like we don't know if this is a good investment, but we'll do it. We'll go with it. We'll go
Yeah.
with the flow, right? And it worked out. They're very lucky.
This
Yeah.
is like, as a parent, you got to support your children,
Yeah.
and doesn't always pay off.
No, but this
obviously
paid off.
of
This
this one, it
definitely
paid in
did.
dividends.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. They're like, how are we gonna pay this if he can't pay it back? But he did. They paid it back, and it
It didn't take very long.
No, it didn't, because that's how they put their first seat out, and they also were driving it everywhere themselves, which amazes me. Like who?
Well, they shared the responsibility, so one would talk
Right.
one would talk promotions, other one would do
Book
the
the
packaging.
Book the gigs,
yeah,
yeah.
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 So it was truly a group effort, and,
Yes.
and that's what the whole point of the documentary or whatever is. People are like, "Oh, hey, they came out of nowhere." And like, no, these
No,
guys
they-
worked hard,
They worked their butts off to get to where they are. Yeah.
and
It's
it
really
paid
impressive.
off.
Like
and-
we had no idea until we saw that
Yeah.
how impressive it was what they did to get where they are.
Because I don't think a lot of people do that these days.
No.
Yeah.
No. Like I know when I played, we did the whole 10 people.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
we had the School of Hard Knocks. Like,
Yep.
Hey, I
You
was
have
one of
to.
those people.
yeah, you have to, or else you don't know what it's like.
You don't, and you haven't really like done it. You've not been in the trenches. You haven't like earned it, right?
And I think every successful band has probably done it, where
Yeah.
they played in front of 10 people.
Mhm.
Yep.
they
Well, you
played
gotta-
in front
you-
of 2 people.
Two
once.
people.
You got to
You
start
just play.
somewhere.
Sure.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It gives you that experience, right?
Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
And I guess they got kind of lucky with the Vancouver Seeds,
They did. Yeah.
and that's then that's how they got it. I think
Yeah.
just right from there, recording, and song gets out.
Took
Next
off.
thing you know, they're releasing a couple of albums that I don't know how well they did. Actually, I don't know.
Talking Curb and all that. The
Yeah.
first one.
I don't think they did as well, right? They did one did really well, then the other one didn't.
Yeah, so their first one was Curb.
Yeah.
They had one single off of that.
Yeah.
Couple of band members changed.
Yep.
Then they got signed on to EMI and Roadrunner Records, which they
We're not really
into
Into
because
the
Roadrunner was more into the heavier
heavy.
music.
So
Yeah.
they were all
Slipknot
like, "What
is
is
that-
this?"
Slipknot, yeah,
Yeah.
right. So
And then they became the band.
the band, and it all came down to one magical song.
Yes. What
That-
song is that, Lyle?
How You Remind Me.
Yes.
Yeah.
That,
Very
yeah,
good
on Silver
song.
Side Up, which was actually their third album because they released The State with
Yeah.
Roadrunner first.
Yeah.
Which the Silver Side Up is when you started listening?
That's when I became aware of them.
Right.
With, How You Remind Me and a couple of the other songs. It
Yeah.
wasn't until All the Right Reasons that I really, like, it was Photograph that grabbed me.
That's the one that grabbed you?
That's the one
been,
that grabbed me.
We've been listening really from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I knew of them right away. It doesn't mean I was out buying albums or anything
No,
right away.
but
But
we
I
knew who they were,
well,
but listened to
obviously
them.
there's kind of a relationship with Seafox and stuff. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I would
Mhm.
hear
that's
them
where
on-
I
Yeah, I
known
guess
them
it
from
depends
that
on what you were
time.
listening to
Yeah,
at that point, too, right?
Exactly.
And it was different.
It was different. It was
Mhm.
good. It was a good different.
Yeah.
And it was fun to listen to them. Like their beginnings were so such a nice niche in the music industry, and it was like one of those ones you could just listen to anytime. It didn't matter, and it kind of got you going for the day. So
Yes.
yeah.
And it was
Yeah, actually, just sorry to back up a little bit. The State actually peaked at number 3 on the Billboard. Silver Side
Oh.
Up peaked at number 2.
okay. So they had a following basically right from the get-go.
Right
Almost
from
right
the
from the
get-go.
get-go.
Yeah.
And I think I'm wondering if it's because of that grunge was starting to come out. And then
Yeah.
voila,
Mm-hmm.
Nickelback comes in. Because there wasn't really a lot of, I don't know, fresh music,
No.
I guess you could say.
No.
And nothing that was really appealing at that time.
And it was really catchy.
It
Like
was.
Yeah.
their songs
Like his
are
lyrics
really
are
catchy.
always catchy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what he does. I wish I could write like him.
I
but
know.
Sex,
He's
drugs,
a-
rock and roll. That's
Yeah.
what it's what you
Well,
gotta
that's
write
what-
Pretty
about.
much, yeah.
There's a lot of sex in some of those albums. Yeah. Not that we're complaining. It's good.
No.
It's good.
Well, no, when we first started talking about doing Nickelback, and we had just finished
Oh.
Brian Ida's podcast.
Yes, I talked
you-
to you. What was my question to you? What
Well,
the heck?
and like I said, you guys are going to think of me as such a hypocrite because, like we were talked about with Brian, it
Yeah.
was his whole,
Underwear.
sex tape that turned me
Yeah.
off of him.
Yeah.
But I love Nickelback songs.
I was like, there is no difference.
Something in your mouth and sex and
yeah.
like those are some of my favorite ones because they're just so fun.
So good. I was like, there is no difference then. You're a
There's
hypocrite.
not because you expect that kind of song from this
Yes, you
band
do.
compared to somebody
You
who's
expect
quote wholesome like
you
Brian
expect Chad
Adams,
to be
right?
dirty.
Exactly.
You
He's
expect
got
Brian
that
Adams to
image.
be a librarian.
Exactly.
It's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is.
But I
So
think that
that's
would make
my
some-
hypocrisy in my
hypocrisy.
music taste.
Well, Chad makes him such a good writer because he's writing songs like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like what you described. And too bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Like you're getting the best of both worlds. And
Yeah.
even How You Remind Me is not.
Some of his songs make me want to cry. Like there's such
There's
different
some
emotions.
deep meanings
Yeah.
in some of those songs.
Oh,
yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
But they just, like they hit those heartstrings or
They do.
you
Yeah.
just can't stop listening. Like
No.
I've kind of revisited it over the last few months and I can't stop listening to it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. because it does. It gets you,
Yep.
right? Like,
Like
Yeah.
Brian Adams writes to the nostalgia, Chad writes into your emotions.
Oh, totally into your emotions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I know a few songs which we'll get to eventually, but it all helps like whatever you're going through. It always seems like that's
Mm-hmm.
a song.
The perfect song
It's
at the perfect
relevant.
time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those weird bands like with Too Bad that was about his family.
Yeah, that was interesting
Right.
hearing what the songs were
Yeah.
about.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Like
was.
where
I love hearing what that is.
Was it Side of a Bullet? That was another kind of
That,
autobiographical.
yeah,
one.
Yeah.
that was about
Well, that was about
Dimebag
Dimebag Darrell
Darrell.
passing away,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
because there was a lot of people hurt
Yeah.
when that happened. And I love that song.
It's
Yeah.
a good song.
Yeah.
And I think of Dimebag Darrell every time I hear that song, and
Mhm.
it just it's
Well, and then yeah, exactly. There's that one. Then with how you remind me when he was telling the story about it, when he came up with it was the beginning part and the lyrics. Then he went over to
Oh yeah,
guitar players.
Ryan's
wife.
like-
Oh, yeah.
Ryan's
said his
wife.
wife's like,
Yeah.
that's,
Like,
a
that's
hit.
a hit.
That's a
That's a
hit.
hit. And
That's
it's
a
like,
She was upstairs
wow.
listening,
Yeah,
and they were
She's right.
practicing.
she was
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
That's a
that
hit.
changed, like what Kruger said. I've listened to a bunch of interviews, and that's what he said. Like at one moment,
Yeah.
they're just kind of like, yep, getting ready to tour, and the next thing you know, he shows up at the Coliseum where they were warming up for it,
Mm-hmm.
the tour, and there's tour buses.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the heck? Yeah, you just sold out all these arenas. Like,
yeah,
he's your bodyguard. Like,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's just like, pardon?
Well, because they were thinking about quitting at one point. They were like, is this gonna work?
Yeah.
Is this gonna work? And they had to push that little bit longer.
And
That one, it just took one.
Mm-hmm.
that's all it does.
That's all it
It's
takes.
the weirdest
Like,
thing.
I have
how that-
goosebumps right now, guys. This is
That's awesome.
it's a good talk. It's good. Good.
It
topic.
is. It's one of those bands, I think, because like what we talked on the last episode, to have that hate love type thing,
Mhm.
right? Where you either love
Love
them,
them,
or you
absolutely
don't care
hate
for them. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
And clearly, we all love Nickelback at this
We-
table
yes,
because they are what we enjoy,
Mhm.
and we're not gonna say we hate any of their songs
Oh,
necessarily.
there's a lot of like obviously great music, and that's what it is. Is it's also they're local, they're our age.
Mhm.
It's just there's so many
Yes,
things
they're
that
our
Our
age.
age.
well, like every band we like from the '80s, they were always 10,
older.
10 years
Yeah.
older, 12
Yeah.
years older, or
Yeah.
We grew
whatever.
with them.
Yeah, whereas
Right.
Nickelback, like you say, there's our same age.
Yeah. We
just
can relate.
boom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
like
I think that's a big
I think
appeal,
what
too.
Chad's between my birthday and your birthday or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it just seems to be that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember
I
if I
think
wrote that
it's
down
that
somewhere. Yeah.
you want nothing but success for
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that.
You do. Yeah.
Right.
Especially because you like them.
Yeah.
You know, like they deserve it. Like, why would we want to? We don't want that for them. We want them to succeed and go forth and make more music because it's good. And
Exactly.
you know,
They're
it's
my favorite concert.
yeah. The
Like during the
concerts are so
pandemic,
good.
I was jonesing for a Nickelback
Yeah.
concert.
They put on an amazing show. Like the pyrotechnics alone. Like, come on.
Right?
I had never seen them
No.
up until the most recent
Mm-hmm.
show in Vancouver.
Yeah.
So now I understand what you guys are talking about.
Talking about
Yeah, and now I'm like, when are they
And
coming
it was
back?
just
When are they coming
okay
back?
in BC Place. They were much better in Rogers.
Rogers. Yeah, Rogers is better. Yeah.
It's set up
Much
for it,
better
right?
sound.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, great
They're great live.
show, great
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And very engaging and very.
They're
Like, I looked at my watch and I'm like, oh, it's over already.
Think about it this way. This is an interesting way to look at it. They're what Def Leppard used to be stage wise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Right? In
Yeah.
the back. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that energy, the
Yes.
stage presence, you know,
The crowd engagement.
Yeah,
was
Like
the crowd
there.
engagement.
that's the thing that's what promotes the good concerts is having that band that connects with the audience.
Yes.
And
They're not just there playing the
pretty much-
music and be like,
No.
okay, see you later.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, the band feeds off the energy to the fans. The fans feed off the energy to the band. Like it grows.
100%.
And because I'm going to take obviously Rob Zombie's one of my favorites, and like he came out. You know, if you know. You have a good time, I'm gonna have a great time. If I have a great time, you're gonna have an awesome time, and it explodes
explodes
and
from
it's
there.
awesome.
Expands from
and-
there.
Now, I'm
yeah.
wondering if that's from playing in front of the 10 people because you had to put that energy,
That effort into
effort
it.
in to
Yep.
make them
To get
talk
that
about
energy back.
it and for them to talk about the band.
yeah, to pass it on.
to your friends
Yeah.
to like, hey,
Yeah.
look, we just bought this CD. Like, you
Yeah,
should
you could
check
listen to
these
this.
guys out.
Yeah.
Like, it's simple.
And anybody
Oh.
going any club anywhere, there's a merch table. Buy merch.
Support those bands.
Right?
Support your local bands with all that.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Especially your local bands.
Yeah,
Especially
because
your
they
local
could one
band.
day be that big band that everybody
Mm-hmm.
wants to see, and you were there from the beginning, and you can talk about it.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
You can
And
talk about the fact that you went into the restaurant in Langley and they were in there at the same time as you, and you were like, what?
I actually served Chad Kroger when I was working at IGA.
Did you?
Sure
oh,
did.
see, there you go. Right? They were in Langley,
Yep.
you know?
and he didn't
He
live
doesn't
far
live
from,
far from
where I
here.
lived.
No,
So
no, it was good. It
you,
was,
you knew he was, yeah.
and he was true to that, true to the localness, and they all were. They've all been good community members.
Mhm.
So that's another reason that you can like bands. It's not just about their music, right? It's about what they do in the communities.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, and like
Mm-hmm.
they've gone through how many drummers?
Three, I
Three.
think.
I think.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
latest one he stuck like. And we
Daniel
found out,
is fantastic.
and we found out that he went through some issues.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
had no
I had
idea.
no idea.
But they're
Mhm.
like, yeah, no, we're
Your family. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but they treated all the drummers like that. They were kind of like
Yeah.
shocked when the first drummer left. Like,
Yeah.
really? And then
Mhm.
the second one
Yeah.
was like, pardon?
Yeah. Why are you leaving? Yeah.
Why are
what's
you
going
leaving?
on? Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't care.
No.
But it's up to you.
You have to show
Okay.
up. You have
Yeah.
to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they not make a reference in the thing about the Spinal Tap drummers?
Yes, he did.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
He did. And he didn't get it because he'd never seen Spinal Tap.
I've seen Spinal Tap.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Sorry,
I
the
have
drummer. The drummer
The
didn't
drummers
get
had
it.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had
I
no
know, I've
idea.
seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I've seen it.
It's not terrible.
Oh, no, bad news is bad.
Bad news is bad.
That one's
Right.
that one's a terrible one. But that was endorsed by Brian May.
Yeah. But it was nice to see that they took care of him, because he was scared too, right? Like that he wasn't that he would have to quit. He resigned, right? And that they're like, "Whoa, buddy, what's going on? No, you're not resigning. We're gonna fix you up and get you back
And get
on
you
track."
back on
That's
track.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how long it takes.
No.
his brother too was
Yep.
going through.
Yeah.
But we don't hear about it.
No,
No.
you
Like
don't
it was
hear about
all
the
this. I
humanity.
think I heard about his brother. I think I did. I remember hearing
I
something,
might have. Yeah.
but
It sounded vaguely familiar when we were watching the documentary.
Yeah.
yeah. But it's all these things that you learn about a band in a documentary, you're just always like,
Oh,
I
that
didn't
makes
know that.
no.
Mhm.
Well, that's the benefit of the
Like-
documentary is it does it opens it up and exposes you to it, and you do appreciate them on a whole new level.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And the
Yeah.
criticism that they do get.
And how much
and
it
how affects
hurt.
Chad. Yeah.
That was the biggest thing, right? Like I felt really
Yes.
sad. Like he was so
Because he comes off
sad.
as this,
Big, tough
hard ass
guy.
rocker, tough guy.
But he's been
and-
hurt.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was hard to hear,
It was really
actually.
hard to hear. Yeah, it was hard to see because humanity. Like, how
Yeah.
can you be okay with the fact that you're hurting this human being just because whatever you saw
For
on
your
the internet,
Facebook
'cause
likes.
That's right. Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with you? Grow the
Yeah.
up. Like,
Yeah.
these are
Yeah.
people. They do have feelings, like them or not, and like maybe go watch the documentary and see how they're.
It's one of those things though. Is like, no, I don't want anybody to hurt and all this.
Mhm.
But then some of these songs that he writes
Okay, fair enough.
would
I
come
know
from the
about
emotion
this.
of the hate.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
because he does have some pretty angry songs. Which are really
He does.
good.
Yeah, right?
We like
He
the angry
does.
songs. Fair enough. That does feed it, yes. But it's unfortunate that you have to feed that.
That you have to
beast.
go through that suffering
Yeah.
in your life.
Yeah.
I feel like Feed the Machine was, that whole album was
Yeah.
kind of
Yes.
angry.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We're getting a little bit of sun.
I'm having a little squint fest over here. Thank you. Closing the blinds. Afternoon, evening sun.
evening, and like it's actually, well, we've had nothing but sun lately, so.
Yeah. I'm not going to
Very
complain
nice.
about the sun.
No.
It's just I couldn't see anybody.
Oh, gee.
Better to be able to see you guys across the table than to be
Yes.
just like, okay, I'm in a dark room all by myself.
All by
I'll close my
yourself.
eyes
Aw.
and pretend.
Across the round table.
The round table.
It's
yes.
an oval table,
It's,
okay?
it's round. It's round enough.
It's round enough.
When we take out the leaf, it's very round. The leaf makes it longer. Still round.
I have to keep
Take
checking my phone because I've forgotten notes. So
Oh,
just
okay.
bear with
Oh,
me.
okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I was going to mention, since we were kind of talking about their early days,
Mm-hmm.
when I wasn't aware that they had collaborated with so many artists on the theme song for Spider-Man.
Love,
for
love,
Hero.
love. Yes.
Apparently featured Tyler Connolly from Theory of a Dead Man.
Yes.
Another great local band.
Another great
Yeah, I was
local
gonna say they're
band.
from North Delta, not
Yeah.
far from here.
No.
Obviously Mike, Chad's brother, Matt Cameron, who was the drummer for Pearl Jam and Soundgarden before that,
Yeah.
Yes.
and Jeremy Taggart, who was the former drummer of Our Lady Peace.
Yes.
I was like, I had no idea.
Oh, you didn't know any
I
of
had
that?
no
Oh,
idea.
that's so fun.
No
It's
idea.
nice to
You
hear
didn't mention
things.
Josie Scott?
I
in
had
there?
no idea.
You had no idea?
It might have.
Yeah, because Josie Scott was the other vocalist on
vocalist.
that song.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Did
I
I
knew
like that
Tyler Connolly was
Oh
in
yeah,
it
I
as
did.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chad
'cause
also
they-
collaborated
yeah.
with Josie Scott in the
Yes.
Spider-Man theme.
Yeah.
I did make a note of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Theory of a Dead Man. I like, and it,
Oh, they're so
it
good,
was
too.
his grandparents used to.
Yeah, did the kids
It
club.
used to volunteer at our kids' school.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because I can remember the kids coming home with a flyer, and they said like, you know who Theory of a Dead Man is? We're like, yeah. Well, the people that help us in the kids club, Mr. and Mrs. Ryan, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're sweet people. Well, they're his grandparents, and we're like, what the heck? Well, that's really cool. Did you ask them anything? No.
No.
Why not?
Right? Take the opportunity.
Take the opportunity.
people.
Ask the
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? It's so interesting when they're local. It's just kind
Right?
of
Like really local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what song?
Oh dear Lord, not this question.
Yeah.
He's coming at us with the questions
Questions.
again.
I know. I got to do that. I got to
I know,
ask.
That's
you can
okay.
ask the question.
What song got you into him?
Photograph.
That was for you?
Yeah. That was for me.
Well, that really, because we've all heard like how you remind me too bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that
Like
really
how
good.
you remind me
But-
would probably be the really big one
The
where you
big one,
where you
yeah.
kind of stood
What
up and
you
paid
knew,
attention.
Paid
you started
attention,
paying
yeah.
attention, but what song
got you
really
hooked on 'em?
like made you really like them?
Oh jeez.
It was that whole album, that third album. I don't even.
Silver
I can't
Side
even,
Up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we knew the other songs from the previous two albums, but that album just sucked us right back in.
Yeah, I remember sitting there when we were watching the documentary and I could hear you humming along to
All the
some of the other early songs and I'm like, wow, I thought I'd been a fan for a long time.
OG right here. Yeah. No, I mean, I do love Photograph though.
Yeah.
I do love that, especially the one line.
Which one?
Oh,
Kim's
because
the first.
Kim's the first girl.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's so funny because I think of you every time I hear that line.
I think of Clint every time I hear that line.
But we know what happened though.
You see me
So
all the
funny.
time, so it's all good. That's why I
Yeah,
like
I think
that
part
song.
of it too was I don't know if you remember, and I'm pretty sure it was you that sent it to me. There was a contest to win tickets to their concert, and it was in Edmonton at the time because they hadn't put a Vancouver date in yet,
Right.
which they did after
After.
the tickets to Edmonton had been won.
Yeah.
But you had sent me the email, and
Yeah.
I had entered,
Yeah.
and I won
Yeah.
some tickets, and it had a meet and greet and everything like that. And I remember getting the email, and I'm like, "Is this for real?
Did I actually
Like,
win this?
Really, for real?" And I remember texting Alan, and I'm like, "How do you feel about going to see Nickelback?" And he's like, "Okay." And I'm like, "In Edmonton."
Say what?
And that was when they had just released All the Right Reasons, and I think that's
Oh,
part of the
so
reason
good,
why I love that album so much more than
Probably.
the others.
Yeah.
Is because it was like the first real concert that I'd been to of theirs, and
Yeah.
was just getting to know them. And
Yeah.
yeah,
It kind of just like
it
put
grabbed
that
me.
way.
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly.
it's your path. And
Sucked you in.
Sucked
It
you in.
totally
Sucked
sucked
you
me
in.
in.
Kept
So
you
I
in
don't know if I'd
forever.
be a fan if it weren't for you.
Oh,
so.
there we go. See, it
See,
all
they
comes
didn't talk
around
about
the
song-
table.
They didn't talk about the songs very much.
No, they didn't, which
No.
is
So
surprising.
That's why I decided I'd bring it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they
No.
did. But that was nice. It was interesting to hear about their lives and how they got where they are.
Because
And
I think they only
what-
talked about Photograph though, wasn't it? Because he
they,
brought that up.
yeah, they talked. Well, they talked
They
about
talk-
a
they
few.
talk about a
Yeah.
few of them.
A few
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
They just, it was kind of hit on briefly. A lot of them. It was more
Yeah.
about who they
Who they
were,
were. Yeah.
what they did, their families, where they, like their roots, right? And
Yeah.
How they persevered.
How they started to
Yeah.
deal with the success.
the
and
success and the hate, and like that was the big part. Like that was they kind of got into that, and
They
that was
got
And
into
nice
how it
to-
that,
affected
how it
Yeah.
affected
Chad and
yeah.
Still
I
affects
couldn't
them.
imagine seeing that all over the place, all
Yeah.
over social media.
Yeah.
Like you can't even go online.
No.
No.
If he looks himself up, it'd be like, oh, okay, who
Yeah.
said this now? Who said this?
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to do it over? Like,
Right.
why would you
Well,
want to
that's
do this?
just it. Like, it gets to a point where you can't engage in that anymore. Like, you just have
No.
to do what you're doing. You're doing what you love to do. Basically, F everybody else,
Well,
right?
and you think about his marriage to Avril Lavigne, like how much did all of that affect both of them?
Oh, like he said in
Yeah.
the doc, it doesn't
Right.
just double; it like
It
quadrupled.
quadrupled
plus.
it, yeah,
Mhm.
because they
Yeah.
were both really famous in their own rights, and people are just asses. They're jerks, right?
Mhm.
Like they want to see you destroyed,
Yeah.
which isn't fair. Like
No.
they
You can't be
deserve-
happy. What do you mean you can't be
Yeah.
happy?
Yeah. You
How
have no
dare you
right.
marry her,
Yeah.
right? Like
That's where I don't understand why people would say that.
yeah,
Because now you just
you just
wrecked his whole
destroyed-
career.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Good on him for just whatever. Eventually,
persevering.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
like
Yeah, they did say that all of that social media BS did make them have a thick skin because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise they'd just be like, okay, whatever,
yeah,
Yeah.
just doing
Give up
whatever.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be as big as they are today, I don't think.
No,
But I'm wondering if that did make him that much bigger
could have.
to
Oh,
prove
definitely.
prove
To
the
prove a
point.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we'll show you.
Spite.
Yeah.
Spite
Spite.
goes a long way.
Yes, it
It does. It
Yeah.
does. It's crazy, like how.
I'm gonna be a rock star in spite of
Spite of
everybody.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Damn
But
it, this is what I want
he's-
to do, and I'm going to do it.
That's right.
He said like that's all he wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a dream, right? It's your
Yeah.
dream. You want to live your dream, and he was in it, and it was being ruined, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
Like I know they
He
started.
said he doesn't even think he'd have an identity if it wasn't for the band. That's
right.
how deep in he is.
Right. Yeah.
It's also how emotional of a person he is.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
Yeah.
which is kind of sad to see or whatever because like Chad is in essence scared to be Chad. Like
Right? Yeah.
you know
that's
he
true.
He
he
stepped
just
away from the band and he has no idea who he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we can't take
Yeah.
a break.
No.
I mean, no.
Keep working.
Yeah, because they all have families. He doesn't have
Yeah.
a family, and that's hurt too, right? Like you see that, and you see them going off, and they've got wives and kids, and they're doing that thing on the side and raising their kids on the road. That was interesting.
Yeah.
And he's there, and he's just alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and
Just
that's
working.
probably why some of those songs are so soulful, right? Like filled with those emotions, and yeah, those are the ones that make me cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what song?
Oh my gosh, you still want to know what song?
I want
Well,
to know what song.
he's got ours, but
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, Clint, what song? Sex. You like that one?
well,
Well,
no
what
because
got into
the
it?
question was which
Like,
one got
what
me
really-
into it.
Oh, right.
Um,
Really like okay, diving
gotcha
head
hooked.
first,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Because there's always a song from a band that you just
Mm-hmm.
you dive
Would it
in.
help if you had like a list of their songs? Because it's hard. It's really hard to
It
kind
it
of.
is hard. Like I would say, how you remind me just is the first one I recollect, but that like I'm gonna get killed for saying.
Here's the list of
Oh,
the
I'm-
first newer ones.
I'm gonna get killed for saying this because, but you know that was the Chick song.
Which, oh yeah,
How you remind me.
yeah.
Oh man.
It's hard.
It
like
is
why?
Ooh, Leader of Men. It was probably Leader of
that
Men.
was a good one.
Yeah, Leader of Men.
That was a good.
Leader of Men.
Yeah, that
But I
was-
still
it was,
wasn't
It was
into
off
it.
the state. Like
Let me
I would
see.
go with Curb as well.
Let's
See,
see.
I wasn't all in yet.
Yeah.
I like the songs,
Mm-hmm.
but
you know,
I wasn't all in
Breathe
yet.
was really good too.
Yeah?
Yeah. But Leader of
I
Men is
apologize,
really good.
everyone. I didn't do my homework.
It's okay. He never did.
Wow, that was a burn.
Yes, I did. I just had to take his name off of it.
Just had to
Yeah.
erase it.
I was
right
gonna
now.
say. Well, did Lyle's
Okay, all the
house.
teachers, please don't listen to this.
No. Okay.
We'll revoke
It-
those
first of all,
diplomas.
what are they going to do to you now?
Yeah, right.
Second of all, they knew where I did the work and where you did the work.
That's
Yeah,
right.
fine.
Everybody has their different ways of working. It's all
Totally.
good. Yeah.
Like I remember picking Silver Side Up, buying the CD.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Never Again, and Too Bad.
Oh,
Never Again was really the one that hit,
yeah.
but that wasn't the one that I wasn't all in yet though.
No.
I like those ones.
Yeah, and I always thought Never Again was on All the Right Reasons for some reason. And I don't know why I knew that one so much better than the other ones from the early albums. But yeah, I don't know. I always thought that until I looked
Like
at the
I
discography.
I really like that song. That is one of my favorite ones. But like I said, I know I was listening to him
Before that.
way
Yeah.
before that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's why I say, like, when you go onto the State album and stuff, like Leader of Min is the one that
old enough
I
too,
think
that
is the
was
one
like-
that really
Yeah.
kind of
I
hit it
don't
with
see.
me.
I can't.
Right?
No.
So I
Can't pick
get-
a favorite.
So I
yeah.
guess I have to answer then.
Yeah,
you do.
you asked
Yeah,
the
what's
question. You have
yours?
to
Okay,
answer.
so you already know part of it, but I think it was Someday.
Oh, yeah.
That one came out, and I'm like,
Oh.
okay,
Like
Yeah.
I'm getting this now.
yeah, I'm, and then Figured You Out.
Yeah,
Figured you
feeling
out,
way
yeah.
too damn good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That was
that
another
was
one that grabbed me.
That's a
just
good concert song.
Yeah.
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 Like, I was shocked actually that they played Figured You Out at the show that we saw,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh,
But it's because it's good in the concert. It's like
Mhm.
yeah,
it's when you want to see live.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's some songs that I want to see, but I get it. Like, I like all the deep cuts, but
Yeah.
Deep cuts are the best.
they are they are.
Okay, well, there's something to be
They
said
are.
on the deep cuts, because you find those ones, and especially our generation, because you listen to album forward to back, front and back, or like just all of it. But you find those songs, and yeah, the mainstream people aren't listening to it, but it speaks to you on a more personal level. It's like they're singing to you, or like your emotions are pouring through that song.
And I think
Yeah.
yeah, like you really see their true selves on
Yeah.
the deep cuts. I think, especially Nickelback. Like, some of the songs are just like, well, like, yeah, they got the sex songs and all that, but they do write like very meaningful, like
Oh yeah. Their words
wow.
mean something. Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, and it's the way I don't know,
far
like,
away.
because they used to do
That's a good one.
covers
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
they were starting off.
Yeah.
Doing a cover like a Metallica or sure whatever, but it's like it's a simple verse and a chorus. Like, great writers, that's where you learn from, but he tells a story. Like, it's a
Yes.
paragraph
Yes.
all the time, but the choruses are just quick.
Mm-hmm.
And the verses, most songs, the choruses are memorable.
Yeah.
They're memorable, but the verses are also memorable.
Mm-hmm.
But they start off like, here you go.
it's pretty much a hook all the way through.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the way they start off. And I don't know if that's from the covers or with them starting off and how he wrote.
I think it's how he writes. It's just
Yeah. And he just has that gift for writing
Yeah.
that.
Well, I think
Because
it's
he's written for other people too.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
also the culmination of the group, because the thing is there's the musicianship and stuff like this, because like some of the hooks are just in the music.
Yes.
You hear just the start
Daniel's
of the drums,
guitar and
like,
or drums. I mean,
you hear the drums come in, you hear the riff on the guitar, you know which song it is, you know
Yeah.
what's coming up, you get those goosebumps, and you're just like, yeah, let's go, this is rocking, let's go, like, move
Yeah.
forward.
And I think too, it also helps that they don't shy away from recording whatever they want to record. Like, I know some of the songs that he even says, like, they could have that country twang or something
Of course
like
they
that,
could.
but they're not country.
No.
But they don't
They're
care what
they
they
can
play.
be country
They-
adjacent.
But they play
like-
acoustics, they play
Yeah.
electrics, they whatever.
Yeah, like their Get Rollin' album, that's probably as close to country as they've ever gotten.
Yeah.
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 And for
Country
them,
adjacent, like I said. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But country can be rocking too. So like that's why
Well,
That's
that-
just it.
it's such a
Yeah.
it's a blur. That line, it's blurred.
well,
Well, yeah,
nowadays,
that's
like
what I
when
was
we
just
saw him
gonna
in
say, exactly
the
that.
concert, I was like, holy cow, like, that's not country. You got 4 dancers coming out. He's not really singing. I forget the artist now, but he's singing, but he's not singing. And I'm like, well, this doesn't make sense. This isn't country. This is not old country. This isn't what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was kind of like, wow, this is so bad. Am I liking country now?
You could. I mean, country
Right.
is
You know,
good.
It's not
it's
what it
kind
used
of
to
that.
be.
No.
Is it Nickelback? I went to see Nickelback. I have now discovered something else.
It's the way it works.
Did they like?
What
Is
did they
there-
put in the water? What did they
Right?
do?
But like that's what I'm with Chad. He doesn't care. He just writes.
No, he
whatever.
just writes
Yeah.
what feels good to him.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
They obviously want to write for the audience, but realistically, musician, it's their art, so they're gonna write what they feel,
Exactly.
right? And that's why his is very much like poetry. That's why
Mhm.
you know.
And
Yeah,
that's
have a book. Let's
yeah.
have a poetry book.
I would differ on that. Is I think the bands and artists that last the longest write for themselves, and
Yes.
everyone jumps on board. If you try to write for the fans,
That's where you kind of lose.
That's where you like.
No, well, that's why I meant like there. It's you still write for the fans, but it's not. That's not the whole thing. It's part of it. You're gonna write. You want to write something there where they're still gonna hear it. That's what
Yeah.
I mean by when I said write for the fans, right? You're writing. You want to write something that is going to actually stick out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still yours. It's still for you because you're writing it. You just still have to have something in there to make it get across the airwaves, right?
Yeah.
That little bit.
You still need that something that's going to hook
Yeah.
your fans and keep them there.
I'm trying to remember the documentary now.
I know,
Oh,
right?
What they were talking about.
Yeah, they talked all about a lot of different things.
Because I know they did talk about what they were going through,
Mm-hmm.
which was the bulk of it.
They did that thing where they had went back to
Oh, that's
Hannah,
right. Yeah.
and they redid
yeah.
their original band, and they were there to cover band themselves.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
It was so
What an opportunity
right.
to see that.
That would have been
That would have been
amazing.
amazing.
I wish we
Yeah.
had known about it. We
Yeah.
totally would have.
No,
gone
but
on a
I
road
think
trip.
I actually appreciate the way they did it because it
Yeah.
was for the hometown
It was.
crowd.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, we can
I
say
could be from Hannah for that.
Yeah.
we can say we jumped on when or whatever, but like these are the people they grew up with. These are the people that the 10
That
people
saw them in the beginning.
yeah, the 10 people
Yeah.
in the audience and stuff like this, and it's great to see them pay back their old hometown because we're their new hometown.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was good to see the pay
it was their
respect and that.
neighbors, their families, their friends.
And I like the
That's where they
fact that
got
it was
started,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, and I like the fact that it was intimate for them
Yeah.
Yeah.
because those
Yeah.
fans deserve that.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't forgotten their roots.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
No. They
It
don't
took
have
them a
live
while
there,
to
do
get
they?
back there,
Sure.
but they did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they go back occasionally to visit, like why
Well,
we
yeah,
knew.
they've got family. and
Yeah.
friends
Well, I was
there,
going
But-
to say, it
sure.
didn't
but to
sound like
do
they're back
that,
that
though-
often.
No,
No.
but to play a show in
Yeah.
small town Hannah
Yeah.
in a odd, I forget where they played in, but
Wasn't
you
it
know,
just like a little bar? I think
It was a
like
little
lounge
bar.
or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like probably what 500 people?
I
Maybe.
I don't even think it
don't
was
think
that
so.
big.
Like-
no.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd say like maybe 100 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed pretty intimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
holy crow.
Yeah.
Like, and it's good on them to go back
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do something like that.
To get that call and be like, yeah, we'll do that.
For sure.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
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 That just speaks to, again, who people are, right?
It speaks about them and what they are.
Mhm.
Yes. That, and
Like
that's
they're
the
still
other reason.
communicating with the drummers. Like
Mhm.
they're all friends still.
Yeah.
Like,
No hard feelings.
No
yeah.
hard feelings. No.
You need to take a break? All right. Take
Yeah.
a break.
Like
Yeah.
they weren't feeling it. They didn't want to go on tour anymore.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah, isn't that what they said, that they decided that being on the road wasn't for them?
Yeah.
And it's not for everybody, for sure.
It's not. No, it's a lot. It's
Especially if you're
hard.
working with somebody like Chad, apparently,
Oh,
who just
yeah.
wants to work
Just wants to
24/7.
work The man never sleeps.
No.
Yeah.
And it's interesting on just seeing how they grew up, where they came
Mhm.
from.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've done that. I totally get when I was watching it and like, yep, I know what that's like playing in front of 10 people. Yep. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to sell the merchandise. But for them to do it, like we had a couple of other people
Yeah.
selling it for us.
Mhm.
They did everything,
Everything.
themselves.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine.
No, a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see them now.
It paid off.
Definitely paid off.
Yeah.
But that's what you have to do, right? Like you got to kind of put in that time and effort. So that's where like I think all the hate is unjustified because nobody knows, when they were
What
in
they
the
actually went
trenches.
through, yeah.
They just thought it was another one of these fly by the seat of their pants and they're just everywhere. But
Yeah.
no, you know what? Like these guys,
They got lucky or whatever. and-
like all artists get lucky. Like signing the right deal at the right time to the right company, playing the right music at the right time. Like it's all a matter of that. Chad just happened, or well, I shouldn't just say Chad because it is the band
It's the
itself.
band,
Because,
yeah.
like I said, I appreciate the music itself or whatever. So the band as a whole, you know, they write something, it's emotional, and it connects with so many people. Their shows, you know, they come through on their shows or whatever. It's a great experience. It's a great evening out. Highly recommended if anyone gets the opportunity to go see them. It just
Highly recommend.
it just
Just
grabs
do
you, takes you away, and for that 2 hours on a bad show, 3 hours on a great show, just export. It just takes you away from your day to day life, and you just it's a great party.
You're part
Yeah.
of the family at that moment.
Well,
Yes,
to
Yes.
sell out stadiums,
Mhm.
I can't imagine that many people don't like them.
No,
Exactly.
They're
That's
just all
always been my
liars.
thing too. It's like, how
that doesn't make sense.
can you claim to hate them when, like I said, I don't think I've ever been to a show that wasn't sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
that brings up the other good thing. If people are gonna hate, that's fine. Hate leaves more tickets for us.
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
can go see them then.
we'd appreciate it if they didn't sell out so quickly,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
we'd like to go.
Well, yeah, that's the thing with this band.
Yep.
You can tell they're a live band.
Yeah.
They like to record. Don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
but I think when I saw them,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, they're definitely.
Well, that's where the party is.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like when
They're
they
just a fun band to
What-
watch.
Mhm.
they opened up with San Quentin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
first line, like circus on the like.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
It's fun.
It's fun
Like it's crazy
Mm-hmm.
when you actually think about it.
because they're all about the fun. Come on.
They are, and like
Bring
the
the
way he
fun.
interacted with
No,
the
they're
band,
all
like
about the
that's
sex.
Well, yes, there
But
is that
that's-
too.
Aside from that,
but that's where
when
they
they're out
get
in
it.
public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's where they got it from, is when they started off, they had to become interactive, and
Mhm.
they had to interact with the crowd, and that's the only way to get that following. And now, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and they were just kids when they started, right? Like they grew up and
Yeah.
grew into it and figured it out as they went, right?
Well, yeah, they were like 20, 21 when they
Yeah.
got started.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It's
like thinking back to what we were doing at 2021, it wasn't this. That's for sure.
No, it was not.
no, and they had an idea.
Yeah.
And they just went for it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and
They're like, we're just
whatever
gonna try
happens,
this.
happens.
Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no harm, no foul, right? If you don't try,
And
don't
then
know.
they realized, wait a sec,
we've got
We're
something
good
here.
th-
Yeah, we're, good, at this.
We got
yeah.
something here. Let's keep
Well,
going.
imagine if they hadn't have listened to Ryan's wife when she said, "That's a hit." That's right.
Well, because he didn't
That's-
think it was. He's like,
No.
I don't know what I got here, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's just
Yeah.
kind of like, what? Okay, so and then what song don't you like? Is there a song you don't like? Oh,
Well,
Oh, there we go. Now I have to think here.
Haha. Gotcha.
Turn the tables on loud.
That's right.
Way to
Payback's a
go.
bitch, I guess. Is that the way it is?
that's
right.
right.
That's
Um,
right.
Karma, baby, karma. I don't know.
There's not. There's not one I don't, like.
think
No.
there's anything. I mean, there might be some that I might kind of skip for now, just because I'm not really
In
in
the
the mood to
mood?
listen to
Right.
that one.
But
I
there's not
can't
one that I
say
go, I can't listen to this. Or I don't
No.
want to listen to this. No, there isn't one for me that's like that for them.
Yeah, I
Okay, then that's hard, right? So how
Yeah.
about which song would you play over and over again? Like what song? Sorry, Clint, did you have one that you don't like?
No.
I just kind of skipped. Okay, no.
I play Shaking Hands over and over again. I
Yeah,
play
okay.
Something in Your Mouth.
Oh,
I
something.
play,
Burn it to the
Bottoms
ground.
Up. Burn It to the Ground. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite live song to hear.
Someday.
It's amazing live. Bottoms Up is fun.
Yep. Animals. My gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Driving in the car.
Exhausting to try to keep
Yes.
up with them singing in concert.
Yeah.
Exhausting.
But just think, right? Like you're on a road trip and you have the windows down and you're
Yes.
just screaming at the top.
Yes.
That is like the best
The
road
best
trip song.
road trip song.
Yeah.
I remember driving to Penticton once to visit a girlfriend up there, and I had my own private Nickelback concert on the way up there.
Nice.
My ears were ringing by the time I got to Penticton.
You had it.
I had a great time.
I think we're going to be heading to another part anyway, so I will hold off on mine.
No,
Till next
You
one.
have no,
Whoa.
No.
Yeah.
no.
come
What?
on.
Yeah, no, it'll
Really?
get to yeah.
Wait, you want to call it here and we talk about it
No,
more?
I will. We'll put it. I don't want to get into it right now.
Oh, he's holding out on us
Holding out.
first.
I am very interested to hear this story. So
Yes.
hopefully
He's
it will be a
gonna-
good one.
He's gonna forget it.
I know,
No.
right?
And then someone's gonna be
No.
like, "What was it?" Because
What was
we,
it?
yeah,
You
you
remember?
said.
You
No.
remember?
You end the
left
episode
us
on a cliffhanger. What the hell?
I tend to do that, don't I?
Don't
You
do
do.
that.
But
Don't
that's
do that.
okay.
That's the fun part.
It
Cliffhangers.
is. You know, it is.
Keeps you coming
I
back
like
for
doing
more.
cliffhangers
Yeah.
because I have to think about what I'm going to say.
You have
so
to
I,
think. You want to process.
I'll
your
actually have to
thoughts.
write this down probably.
I got him, guys.
I'll have to
Nice.
write this
Wow,
down.
Good job.
Yeah.
I'll have to write that
Good
down.
job.
Yeah.
Have to write it out and figure it out.
All right.
Yeah.
He has
It's
to
a
think before
there's
he
a
says,
story.
There's a story. We
There's
like
always
stories.
the stories.
Yeah.
And,
That's what
I don't
songs
know.
are,
We'll see.
right? Stories. They,
Exactly.
And they add
Is
to
that what the
story.
podcast is? The
It
stories?
is. It's
Yep.
one drawn out story.
All right.
we'll put it this way. It's
Our
going to be a
stories.
very heartfelt story.
Oh, do we need tissues?
It's gonna, yeah.
We need
Miles getting
tissues.
emotional.
You'll
people.
probably need tissues. It'll pull at the
Aw.
heart. Yeah.
I love those stories.
Yeah.
All right.
See what you get. You get everything from us, right? We give you all the emotions,
You get the
all
hard
the
rocking,
feels.
you get the feels.
That's right.
Yeah.
It'll be a, yeah.
Oh,
All right.
So then we need it. We have to do a second part on Nickelback.
I guess so.
That's okay. I'm sure we have
Might
a
be
lot
long,
of
I was
stuff.
gonna say it might be another long one like Mr. Brian Adams there, but
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
that's okay. It gives us more time to dig deep into it.
Because we've just
Exactly.
kind of probably hit the tip of the
We're
iceberg
just
for
like
this
on
one,
the
haven't we?
surface, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't really gotten into much about it at all.
No.
We just really kind of were playing off the documentary a little bit
Yeah.
here, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
sure we can.
So,
go
yeah,
further.
I'll have to. Damn, I'll have to write something up then.
All right,
I
well,
have
stay
to-
tuned for
I
the
have
next
to-
episode.
okay,
where
to
we
figure out how
can
I'm gonna write
hear-
this down.
Yeah, as you're gonna do that though, write yourself a note to make sure you do it. Because
Exactly.
if you play a next episode and there's no heartfelt emotional story,
I'm in
people are
trouble.
gonna.
You're gonna be yeah, exactly. What the hell, man?
I'll
Bullshit.
be in episode 3 then. Yeah.
No,
No, it
you
has to be
gotta
the
do
next one. Has to be the next one.
Yeah.
This is
You-
how we're opening up. So you're opening up the next one.
You'll have to start the next
Exactly.
episode.
With your
Yeah.
story,
Yeah.
yes. We're not
Exactly.
gonna let you walk out on that one. No, no, no,
Okay,
no.
I'll have to write it up.
Yeah,
All right.
You will hear it.
we will hear it.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
heartfelt one. It'll probably bring everybody to tears. So.
Aw.
Probably not me.
No.
Probably not me.
No, probably not you.
Just-
Well,
just
actually,
the
it
one
might.
quote.
So we'll
All right.
might.
Well, on
There
that
we go.
note.
Now I'm scared.
Yeah. So
All right.
yeah.
So till next
Again,
time. I
until
guess.
next time.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks
for joining us
listening.
on the round table.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Again.
we appreciate everyone listening to us with their little ramblings.
Yeah.
But
Hope
Hopefully-
you have as much fun as we have. So.
That's
yeah,
right.
hopefully we
laugh.
have an emotional story from Lyle on the
Yeah.
next
Yes.
episode.
And if
I guess I'll
not-
have to start that one then.
If
is that-
not,
Yes,
I'm
yes,
sure
you
we
will.
have some other ones.
Oh,
We all have
yeah.
stories.
I'll
but
remember. I
Absolutely.
will be writing this down after
We'll
this.
just be
and-
all
Alright.
quiet and just be looking at him and waiting for his
yeah,
story.
exactly. Oh boy.
So yeah.
Ooh, did I
Alright.
open up some can of worms here? Okay. Well, then maybe I'll open up some stuff that you guys will talk about then too.
That's right.
That's perfect.
Absolutely.
Because it'll be more from me eventually anyway. So
Yeah.
might as well start somewhere.
That's right.
That's right.
We'll mark it down. You're starting this off, Lyle.
Here we go. Of course, I'm starting off. I always do.
Ah, no, no.
No, that's
No,
that's
no,
not
this
true.
is your guys' band. You start off.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we started off
Yes, you did.
tonight.
Sure,
Yes, you
Yeah,
did.
that's
Yeah.
why we're putting it back to you.
Exactly.
Your part.
All right.
All right. Well,
All right.
thanks,
So yeah.
guys.
So I guess you know that we will have a second part to this. So yeah. Until
Like-
then. Until next
I
time.
was gonna say I do have to say this. Does anybody notice how red he's gotten?
It's the sun coming
Well,
through the window.
maybe I'll talk to these guys after this so they kind of know. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So
That was the plan.
anyway. Well, thank you for
All
joining
right.
us on the Music Roundtable, and until next time.
Bye.